So, welcome to MarshMelon.com. It's a pretty exciting day. We got our OUYA in. This is not a development unit. This is the standard unit that you'd get if you wanted to buy it yourself to play the games, not necessarily develop for them. Now, I haven't really read any of the reviews on this. This was donated to me to do an unboxing. So that was a really cool thing. I don't know much about it. I do know that it was open source. I do know that there was a Kickstarter about this. Now, this is the box that it comes in. It's pretty cool, black box. You know, it's kind of got. I'm just going to cover up the serial because I don't know if there's some codes that apply to just accessing this serial number. But I'm curious to see just how all the hookups are and stuff, and read you and let you see everything as I see it for the first time. Trademark 2013, and I think it's pronounced OUYA, which is kind of cool. It's got a patent on there. What else does it say underneath here? It said something. It's really hard to read because it's like black paint on this black matte box, and it says "Dreamt by Gamers, designed in California." So they kind of taken a cool, like, Apple packaging approach. It looks like mine was bumped pretty good right here in this corner. Hopefully it didn't do anything to the machine. I think that's probably from in shipping. It was given to me like this, so I don't know if it came in a cardboard box. I'm certain it did, a shipping box, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's see just what is in here and get to it. So I have to say thank you to my camera operator. She's a third grader who is taking an interest in becoming a camera operator. So I'm letting her do the job today. So she's going to try to zoom in on the product, so go easy on her in the comments. We'll see how she does. So just lifting up the tape here, kind of destroyed the box in so doing. Not really much I could have done there except slice the actual tape, which is probably what I should have done. So as I open it up, let's see what we got. That's cool. Thank you for believing. Alright. That's kind of neat. You got that in focus there? Looks good. Nice. So we got a nice tag in here. Thank you for believing. You know, I do believe in open source development, which is, I think, what this console really stands for. I mean, I don't think you need to pay anyone to develop for this. Apple, you pay $99. Wii, you pay an exorbitant fee to get on their Wii console, as far as I know. Developing for the N64 and stuff, it costs like 100 grand just to get a game out, to develop for it. So under here, I don't know, I guess we can keep that. That's kind of cool. It's like plastic. This is pretty cool. It's a controller. Right, looks like a wireless control, maybe infrared. I see some protective seal on top of this reader here. Very neat. Control, how does it feel? Feels pretty good. 2 analog sticks. We got some color-coded buttons that say OUYA. O for green, blue U, Y yellow, and A red. Not bad. It's going to be a little confusing to Xbox people when I think A was the green button and B was the red button. Now we got A as a red button. No big deal, I guess. So, it does feel decent. It doesn't feel bad. My top fingers feel a little strange on here. Obviously, they got to design these for a multitude of hand sizes and shapes. Now, what else do we have here? This is the whole deal. This is just a cube. And that's pretty neat. We got, for connections, I have a wall wart power jack. I have a network cable. I have a USB port, an HDMI port, and it looks like I also have a mini USB, if I had to guess. Maybe FireWire. I'm really embarrassed to not really know that by seeing it, but can you get a close-up on that? Those connectors? Looks good. Very cool. There's one side as I'm holding it. I'm sorry, I apologize. I am not a hand model by any stretch. I think the whole unit sits like this, and there's rubber feet down the bottom. This is a pretty cool design. This is like what a Wii is these days, or an Xbox 360 as far as the open source community goes. to think that you can pack it this tiny is definitely pretty cool. So, I mean, I have to say, I'm a little taken back by the design. The industrial design here is definitely pretty cool. And if this unit performs and does things as good as any Xbox 360, I know it's going to be the developers. And one thing about shipping a console app is, a new console that's open source is you're really depending on the developers, and you don't have potentially a real launch title. So OUYA, folks, if you're out there and you're looking to help someone out port to your system, because that's what we would need, I think we have a really good app to start this little box off. So get a hold of us, and I'll be glad to discuss with you the porting of our app that has yet to be released as an iOS exclusive. So, all right, let's take a look. Let's see what else we have. So, this is what I suspected was the jack for this connector. Oh.
Like this fast, cause like there I go like that, but it goes fast and the bumps like
okay.
Like that.
Yeah, just go slow. That'll be fine. Having a little camera work, no big deal. So she apologizes for maybe bumping the camera. No big deal. We'll get through it. All right, so here we go. We have the power jack that plugs in. Pretty cool, and not too big to really mess with your power strips if that's what you're plugging into, which is kind of nice. Usually, I usually like the pack to be in between, so that when I plug it into a power strip, it's not interfering with the adjacent outlets on that strip. So, what else do we have in here? It does include an HDMI cable, which is kind of neat. And I was hoping it included a little cable to kind of indicate to me what it was all about. This little connector here. I'm not sure what that is still. It says HDMI on the other, but this one is left. I'm pretty sure it's a mini USB. It almost looks like a Nokia charger. Maybe I'll check it out in here and see real quick if I can get a diagram. We actually should go through the manual, but unfortunately there is no diagram of the unit, I don't think, in this manual. So, I mean, there's a lot of work being done here on this system. Been to Los Gatos, that's kind of cool. I think I saw that in one of these pages here. So it says, yeah, no image. I guess we'll just go to the website and figure out what that's all about. So we got some, does come with some batteries, which is kind of cool. So honestly, I really hope this thing takes off. You know, not as a killer of the other consoles that are out there, or something to even really make a dent in their sales, but just something for the guys like us who, you know, like to see new innovative games that take a lot more risks than, you know, AAA studios can afford to take. And I appreciate that. I'm not here to knock any AAA studio. I enjoy, obviously, I run a channel about playing video games. I like video games of all studio sizes. I love to see and try, you know, if time allows, pretty much everything out there. So I think it makes me more well-rounded, whether I'm playing Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, some shovelware movie video game, or you know, COD 4, something else like Grand Theft Auto. I actually have, you know, a decent amount of enjoyment with all those. Right now you see me peeling off all of the protective film on the shinier surfaces. I just want to get a feel for this controller. I had to shout out to Farmer Joe Games for, he was the actual first believer in this system, enough to actually help crowdfund the Kickstarter and receive this. So very cool. I don't even know or remember or even heard about what contribution level you need to be at to get one of these. I'm sure it was something quite substantial, and I don't know if they did that. So at what level, I mean. So, all right. I think that's pretty much it. You know, HDMI cable. I guess I could kind of show where these batteries go in, and I'm wondering if I can intuitively get in here, you know, without looking crazy. If this is where the batteries go, I mean, give me two batteries. Trying to find out where they go in. this is kind of a loose seam here, so it looks like they might go in here. Bear with me, I have not seen one of these be opened. Looks like I got lucky. It wasn't loose manufacturing, that's the battery compartment. So let's get this in here. I'm not sure what this is about. Nope, it was caught. That's not good. It was caught on one of the springs in the battery compartment. So here's the insertion of it. I hope you looked at how I opened it, because it was non-destructive, and you might not know exactly when you get this how to open it. So I'm going to get in here, see what we can do. So that's what, one AAA battery, that's it. One AA battery, I'm sorry, misspoke. So they give you 2 batteries, and I need 1. So I don't know if, yanking this thing on and off all the time is going to be such a good idea, especially if it's not rechargeable. I would immediately go buy AA rechargeable battery, but yanking this side of the controller off all the time, it's going to, one, create fatigue in the plastic, and I don't think these seams are going to match up so good over time. I mean, we're not, look at it, see, I've got some, trying to get this compartment on, and it's just not closing up on me. So, I can, let me get this battery in properly. I actually made a big mistake here. So, I gotta put the battery in on top of the strip, okay? And that way it kind of closes up. And maybe that's the reason why I wasn't getting a good close on it. Yeah, that'll be it. So, it looks like pretty good. But like I said, it's gonna fatigue over time. Press the button, see if I can get some juice on this. Alright, so I'll probably have a second video, and I'll show getting this thing cabled up to my television, and seeing what happens when you start it up, because honestly I do not know. So just stay tuned, subscribe, and watch part 2 and see what happens when you boot this up first time. I'm going to leave it like this for the second video, and you'll show, I'm going to probably bring a little TV in, and we'll be good to go. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.